This is my dog. His name is Hero. Hero is a lucky dog. He has a family which can afford to look after him. He gets fed twice a day, walked daily, and he has lots of interaction, but also has the space to, if he wants to spend time by himself, he can do so. Because of this, he's a really happy dog. But there are lots of animals that aren't as lucky as Hero, and through no fault of their own, can end up in care. I was interested to find out how these dogs can be rehabilitated and get a second chance at life. And this is where Hedge comes in. Hedge is an animal sanctuary based in South Bristol. They look after all kinds of animals, so I went down one day to talk to John, a volunteer there. So I'm here with John, who's a volunteer here. So how did you get involved with volunteering at Hedge?
Well, basically, when I finished work a few years ago, 3 years ago, I wanted to do some voluntary work of some description, preferably something that got me out and about. And luckily, Hedge Animal Sanctuary was on my doorstep, so to speak. So it was ideal for me to get involved with animals and also be able to take dogs for a walk and keep myself fit at the same time.
What do you think are the sort of qualities which a volunteer would have to bring to the job?
Oh, well, without a doubt, a love of animals, especially if you're doing dog walking, a love of dogs, different dogs, etc. But really, it's just all about, patience, plenty of love and affection to give to the animals, because most of our rescues, some come in from some very poor backgrounds. So it's just, the person who can be empathetic and take the time to work with the animals.
It sounds like a really rewarding way of spending your time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Who couldn't? I mean, dogs, as everybody knows, are the ideal companion. They take away all the stresses. They love you unconditionally. So it's just an ideal thing to do as a volunteer.
The passion John showed really struck me. So to find out more about Hedge and the work they do, I spoke to Sarah Schreins, the general manager. What attracted you to working with dogs in the first place?
I grew up in a home where we rescued various animals, from ponies to guinea pigs to chickens. I was the girl that took all the bred chickens from school home and kept them in my garage so they wouldn't be sent off to slaughter. So it's not surprising I ended up working in rescue, as my whole life's been about rescue and working with animals.
So when it comes to running the whole charity, in terms of the financial side of it, is it a challenge to keep the whole place running 24/7?
Yeah, it's a massive, massive challenge. Our running costs alone are about £615,000 a year. It's a real mixture of funding that goes into it. I mean, one of our largest costs, obviously, is staff, but staff are really important to being able to work with dogs that are maybe a bit more difficult, that maybe other sanctuaries have turned away because they take too much time. So it's really important that we have really good, well-trained, qualified staff to be able to help them and rehabilitate them. Obviously, the other biggest cost that we have is veterinary fees. A lot of animals that come to us are in real need of medical treatment, but maybe they haven't been able to be received in their home because of financial reasons. And then you've got your general vaccinations, neutering. People still aren't neutering their animals, and they're coming to us. And so at the moment, our vet's bills escalate into 100,000 plus a year.
How do you raise all the money to keep the place running then? What methods do you use to keep the place afloat?
Well, we're completely independent and self-funded, which means we don't get any government support whatsoever. So every penny that comes into the sanctuary is through donations. It's through people doing third-party events like dog shows, and people raising money for us is the best way of being involved. Every penny that comes into the sanctuary goes directly back into the sanctuary and the running of it, the day-to-day. We rely on other aspects, such as our charity shop, which we've got 2 at the moment, and they're run by volunteers. We have a manager that oversees, but all of our brilliant, hard-working volunteers go out every day, keep our charity shop going.
Sarah mentioned a charity shop, and this really piqued my interest, so I decided to go down there one day to find out more about the kind of work they do.
So I'm Scott, I'm the manager at the Hedge charity shops. I'm the retail manager. Essentially, we take donations from the public and we sell the stuff on to make money for the Hedge charity. That's the basic drive of what we do here. I mean, we're reliant on the general public for the donations that come into the shop, because it's what we sell to give money to Hedge, the charity. So we're definitely reliant on the donations that people generously donate here. It's crucial for the charity to have money coming in. So we provide a steady stream of income from our donations from the shop. We've actually opened up a second shop in Western-super-Mare now to try and increase the money that's coming into Holly Hedge, and by also having a second place for people to drop donations off to. It seems to be working quite well.
Now I'd had a chance to see how Holly Hedge gets funds raised for it, I was interested to find out a bit more about the work they do. So I'm here with Lucinda, the category manager, and can you tell us a little bit about the work you do here?
So we get various cats in, predominantly strays, tend to come in because they're not microchipped. Now is kitten season as well, so we've got lots of kittens coming in, and pregnant mums. But yeah, we and also people signing their animals over that can no longer look after them. So they come to us, some of them need a bit of TLC, a bit of rehabilitation. They get microchipped, they get neutered, they get vaccinated, flea and wormed, and then hopefully up for adoption and get a new home.
So how many cats do you have in the cattery?
We have roughly 40, but that can go up to about 104 in the height of kitten season. So when we get cats and kittens in, yeah, it goes over 100.
So tell me a bit more about this cat garden. What's the idea behind it?
It's just given a bit more enrichment. We've got all the cat plants and herbs here for them to smell in, lots of activities for them to run around. Occasionally we'll do socials, so we'll bring different groups of cats or kittens more so out here. But yeah, they get a chance to be out here for a couple of hours a day on a rota basis, just to have a bit more enrichment. And obviously they've got the wildlife that they look at. And yeah, just a bit more than just their pens. And again, people can come out and socialise with them as well.
Now I'd learned a bit more about the animal work they'd done, I was curious to see if this had a real world effect. So I went and spoke to Vicky, who adopted a cat from Holly Hedge several years ago.
Well, I started off as a volunteer at Holly Hedge, a cat cuddler, and of course I ended up bringing a cat home with me, so I fell in love with her. She was very stressed when we first got her, but now she's chilled out, she's relaxed, she's got free range of the house, free range of the garden, and she's just much, much happier. I think Holly Hedge really helped her because they looked after her health. She had to have a lot of dental work done because she had inflammation of her gums, and they just really sorted her out because she came from a house of 10 cats, and they really sorted her out health-wise. She makes me smile every day. Holly Hedge have given me the opportunity, to have this beautiful cat, and she's just part of my world now. She's great character. I wouldn't be without her, to be honest with you. She's just lovely.
What's really struck me about Holly Hedge is the amount of love and dedication shown by all the staff who work there. And it's really apparent how much Holly Hedge means to them and how much of a good time they have working there. So I just want to end this film with a little bit more from them.
Holly Hedge is a wonderful place. I find it quite rewarding to see these little dogs and cats that come in, who've been ripped from their home or have been on the street, and to find them, finding a nice home and to be happy is a very rewarding thing. And so any help that we can do to provide that service for the dogs and cats, I find it's very rewarding. It
really is a wonderful place to come to, even just to look around and see all the dogs and the cats, because they're happy to see people. And as you probably see when you're going around yourself, it is a very happy place to be.
Yeah, you sound a bit proud of it, to be honest.
Oh, very proud, very proud.
What does Holly Hedge mean to you?
Holly Hedge is my entire life. I can't even put it into words. Everything about this sanctuary that it stands for, the work that we do, I think far surpasses any other charity that I've ever worked for. Everyone's trying to do their best, but I really feel that Holly Hedge puts its heart and soul into it. From the staff to the volunteers to the wonderful people I work with, we're all committed and we're just here for the animals, and that's what makes the difference.
Brilliant, thank you so much.